Viewers, welcome to the Personal Injury Law Show. This is a show that talks about compensation in Victoria. We talk about workers' compensation, transport accidents, public liability, medical negligence. My name's Tony Carbone. I'm a personal injury lawyer of over 25 years' experience. With me tonight, I've got a Nuncio Tertaya, an insurance law partner in a law firm.
Tony, Don, viewers, welcome.
And a transport accident law partner in a law firm, Don Mafia.
G'day Tony, g'day viewers, g'day Nunzio.
Viewers, tonight we'll be talking about the liability of paramedics and ambulances in Victoria.
But first, Tony, what's in the news?
There's been a lot of interesting stories in the news this week, fellas. And the first one's about a rail death at Laburnum Station, an 83-year-old. Don, tell us the facts.
The fact is, I think he was somehow on the tracks and he was trying to get off the tracks and he got hit by a train. I know that train tracks quite well, Tony. It's a line that I usually catch, the Belgrave line. And Laburnum, there's been a few accidents in that area. And it just goes to show that despite all the safety around, there's still somehow people who end up on the tracks at the wrong time and get hit by a train.
But surely there must have been some sort of warning signals going on here, Nuns?
Oh, look, I think from what they said that there was no fault on behalf of the train lines and the driver, and that
well, it was an empty train.
Yeah, so look, I said, there has to be investigations to see exactly what occurred, but look, I think that's why that brings into issue again that they want to remove all these level crossings and make it a safer place.
Tony, in that article as well, they're talking about trackside workers who also have near misses from trains. So they're working on the train tracks and nearly get cleaned up by a train that's coming their way.
Well, whilst we're on the subject of trains, what about this fatal crash that happened last week where a truck slammed or the train slammed into the truck?
Look, that could have been disastrous, as I think it was only one death, but there was potentially, I think, in the stops before, hundreds of people on the train, and they'd all got off at their relevant station. So that could have been disastrous because I think 6 of the carriages went off the rails. So could have been huge.
Essentially, it was a truck that went through the boom gates and hit the train. So
did he actually snap the boom gate, Don, or did he beat the boom gate?
No, he went through the boom gate.
Yeah, look, he's said he's lost control, or he's obviously concentrating on something else. Look, we'll have to see what comes of the investigations.
Yeah, well, I think that's right. The investigation's still going, so it's not really known what happened.
There's some interesting CCTV footage that's being currently looked at by the police, and it shows a truck that's overtaken the truck that was the one that hit the train. So who knows what was going on there?
Was overtaken.
Yeah, that's what the footage shows. And there was another car that had overtaken as well. So they could be either racing to beat the boom gates or loss of concentration. We don't know. Topic of discussion tonight, AMBOs. Now, look at this story. AMBO drug theft prompts total recall. What are the facts here, Nons?
Oh, this is a case in which there's allegations that either a particular ambulance officer or officers have been taking the, is it fentanyl? Fentanyl, yeah, which is used or administered on patients as like a painkiller. So they've been taking it, and they say it's sort of in replacement of like a heroin. So there's use there of different nature, and it's a bit of a worry if the AMBOs are actually taking it from the storage there.
Isn't there an allegation that actually took the fentanyl out and replaced it with water? So you got these people.
Well, it's fatal. I mean, if you're going to a crash scene or site and you have to administer something as pain relief and you don't have it, well, it's going to lead to deaths, isn't it?
Yeah, well, potentially it could, and they said that's why I think they're going to introduce anti-tampering packaging so they can see whether it's been tampered at all. But it's a little bit too late by the sounds of it.
Do you know what's really amazing about this particular drug? Apparently it's 100 times more powerful than morphine.
That's what's concerning, Tony. I mean, if it gets in the wrong hands, it is a drug.
But they're talking some pretty large volume of this fentanyl, so where it's gone and what it's used for, that's a big worry in itself.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, there's another interesting article about ambulances again, crash fear for AMBOs. Paramedics are falling asleep on the way home from 14-hour shifts because there are no mandatory quiet sleeping facilities at their 40-year-old Sunshine branch.
Well, this is where the facilities where they say sleep and rest during breaks is not up to scratch. So they tend to be on the road more often. I think 14 hours on the road is a long stretch without a break. And there's obviously a call for a lot more funding to help these AMBOs with the rest and all those things, Tony.
Also, there was an interesting story the other day that someone died because there wasn't a Micah ambulance available in Terrelgan.
That's right.
And they say that there were people available to man a Micah ambulance, but they weren't called in.
Look, it brings into light, I said, I think it's still a big resource issue. I said, here there's not good enough facilities. There wasn't, not enough supply for those intensive care units.
Viewers, we've got to go to a break, so please stay tuned. After the break, we're going to come to the topic of discussion tonight, which is paramedics and ambulances.